Live from Los Angeles. Welcome back to Good Morning LaLa, and it's an absolute honor to welcome to the show Ms. Kara Reed-Lorsch. She's an actress, she's an Emmy Award-winning producer, and author. You figured out the game.
Yes.
Are you keeping score?
Yes, we are. We're scoring the girl of your dreams or anything of your dreams, relationship of your dreams.
Love that. So what is the secret? Gotta read the book.
You do have to read the book. It's 7 steps. It's very straightforward, easy to read, entertaining, but it's also about just being present, being available, being out there, and being willing to connect with somebody and go after her. I always say, you've got to go get her. You've got to go where she goes. And you've got to be persistent.
Well, it's not just about playing the game, right? It's actually about winning the girl, if they really want to win the girl.
Well, exactly. One of the reasons I wrote this book from a woman's point of view was because there was all these books out there about how to trick a chick into liking you, or how to, get her a number and get her to go home with you, but what about having an actual real relationship? And it was sort of written for like the least common denominator of people, like to do the basic steps of dating. So it started off actually as a television show idea that was kind of like Queer Eye for the straight guy, but Hot Chick Eye for the dateless guy.
Oh,
like
love
if
that.
you're clueless, read this book and at least it'll give you the confidence and some simple information and to go out and find somebody who might just make you feel good and you'll make her feel good.
Now if anybody slides into my DMs, I'm just going to send them a link to your book and say, listen, before you even try and play this game, read her book.
Yeah, go to scorethebook.com, get this, and then start over.
And then hit me up. And then maybe I'll re-swipe you on Bumble.
There is something. There is something interesting about showing up consistently and allowing for whatever to unfold out of that. How do you feel about that versus someone's like that's trying to have it go into a particular box, like have it go into a particular relationship versus just showing up in someone's life over and over again?
Well, when I say about going where she goes, I mean you want to first of all, everybody, love yourself, be your best self, all of those things, and then you're going to attract the person that you want. So it can't just be like you forcing yourself, oh, I'm going to go to a yoga class because there's hot spiritual girls there, so I'm going to go there to meet really pretty girls in shape and tight pants. You've got to go there because that's also something that you need, something that you love. So it has to be genuine. You're not just going there to meet girls. You're going to go there to meet like-minded girls who are into the same things you're into. So, and what was the question? Consistently.
Well, yeah, like showing up. Like I think that I'm just witnessing relationships.
I mean, everything is a relationship. Coming here this morning, we're all having a relationship. We're all connecting. We're connecting with the viewers here. So to just, consistently going out there and being present and being your best self, you're going to attract the relationship or the people that are going to be good for you.
I just love that. I feel strongly about that. Like everybody I interact with, I'm in a relationship with. So when people ask me that question, my first thought is, well, I'm in a relationship with you who's asking me the question right now.
Yes.
And part of that I think for some people was like practice, but for me, I genuinely feel that way. But do you think that if people were more that way, that they saw everybody in that way, that it would allow them to pre-pave a more harmonious romantic life for themselves, or do you think that would get in the way of it?
I think that paves the way for harmonious everything, relationships, jobs, the world, world peace, all those things, if we can all get there. And I think the world is now headed in that direction. That being said, I think we all get in our own way. Because say you're not having the greatest life. We use drama and relationships and all of that to kind of distract from our real issues. We need to have something to complain about and to mourn over or to tear ourselves up over. So we use these bad relationships that we create for ourselves to distract from our real issues. How about just let's deal with our issues and do it in a harmonious way? But
That's
would
so
be
much
easy.
harder.
Yeah, right. The ego likes it hard.
I know, but I think that's kind of the point, and I like that you said that. It's kind of like, do you want to just actually kind of play the game, or do you want to actually win the game? Meaning, which is kind of a little weird, like score, but I like it in that it's like, really, what is it that you really want? Let's get real, because a lot of people say they want relationship, and they actually really don't. They just want to date and have it be this ongoing struggle for themselves. So how, you talk about that she's smart, she's savvy, she's sexy, this woman that is all, what does she want?
she wants someone to recognize that and be there with her on that, and to just treat you like the goddess that you are, which is always great. But also just, to have somebody who's a partner on your level, whether it be a friend, a boyfriend, a sexy fun buddy, or a partner, a relationship, a marriage. So it's just to treat that person like the special person that they are, which you should do with everybody.
I'm wondering, you being an actress and a producer, have you been able to explore those types of relationships, and what have you learned from them creatively and implied into your own life?
What I love about my job as an actress is I get to get all my dysfunctional stuff out on camera, like the Bay. I mean, I'm this crazy woman in a ridiculous relationship with the worst married guy on the show, and I'm like, thank you, Gregory Martin, for giving me this role so I can go out and have really healthy relationships in my own life. I've also crossed that line sometimes when you're in a headspace, like I just did this movie, Acts of Desperation, where I'm playing this woman who doesn't know how to connect with people, and she's so desperate, and she's jumping off a bridge in the beginning of this movie. And when you go into that headspace of that kind of person, I notice that I lash out in my own life. Like I sometimes don't leave it at home. Like I play a little bit to like, so how would that person act, or how would that person go after relationships? And I end up doing things that are like, I can see it. I'm like, oh, you're acting like your character.
This isn't Kira.
Not Kira. What am I doing?
We have a look at the new film. Let's take a peek.
Oh, goody, goody.
Anything happens now breaks the ice.
No! Morgan! Stop!
I never want to go, man.
Go!
It is very powerful. It's very dark, but it's something that I needed to work through and do. And I think it has a really good message in the long run about you don't need to do all this. All of this is really silly, and all this desperation that everybody has can be avoided. And if you're in that space, you got to try to save everybody. You got to, yourself first of all, but people can be brought back from that. So I really had a great time doing it. I'm executive producer of the show. A friend of mine that I've known for 20 years sent me the script. And in Hollywood you get scripts all the time, but this script, I was like, I've got to do this movie. You just get called to do it. I'm like, I've got to do this movie. And I'm like, I don't know how to play this part. She's so out there. This woman is so all over the place. How do you do it? And I'm like, I'm going to figure it out. And we got Paul Sorvino on board. Even his wife Dee Dee's in the movie.
Great cast.
Jason Gedrick is amazing in this movie. And there's love triangles and drama and all those things, so I don't have to have it in my real life.
Let's talk about female friendly.
Oh, I love this show.
Tell me all about
girls
it.
do porn. Make porn, really. I met these girls. It was so funny how this all came about, but I had just lost my husband last year. I lost my husband. Oh, and I was in a really dark place. And this casting came out for this woman who is a former adult star turned adult industry mogul. And I'm like, I want to play that part. And my agent's like, oh, you don't want to do it. It's this little web series. It's low budget. It's silly. I'm like, no, I want to do that part. And they submitted me and they cast me off of my history, the book. I worked for Playboy for years. So like, you're perfect. Come show up. Da 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 da. I'm the madam of this of Los Angeles adult industry for these two, and I'm up against these two girls who've started their own female-friendly productions because they want to make movies that they would like to watch for the ladies.
For the ladies.
Because they get out of film school, they can't get arrested, they can't get a job, so they get drunk one night and figure out this is what they're going to do with their lives.
Oh my God.
But it's hilarious, and believe it or not, it's good, clean fun. It's not it's like, it's a Tina Fey type of comedy or a Kimmy Schmidt kind of comedy with a lot of like sexy stuff thrown in, and I'm the villain.
I love that.
The mystery villain. That
How
takes
fun
on
to
these roles.
explore
Right?
all
Yes.
those roles.
But it does. I think that
yourself.
so many people don't realize that they're just playing a role in life. They get to play this fun character, and they can change it if they want to change it. But sometimes we get so caught up. But I think it's great that you're able to get to this place where you have peace in your life, and you're able to play these roles and let out some of that fun, crazy human dysfunction, and you have to bring it into your life. But I mean, I think that there's probably a lot of women that, like the women that you described, she's successful, has it all, smart, whatever, but maybe she hasn't found, that she doesn't have to bring her drama into that. So, I mean, because a lot of women they think they want that guy you described. They say they want the man that's going to show up and support her and be nice to her and treat her like the goddess that she is. But really, they want the bad boy that's dysfunctional, that's whatever.
It will distract them.
Right? Because they don't get to roll like they don't get to produce and play and act in some. They have to bring it into their life.
That's why we have lots of different relationships. I've got a couple of fun dysfunctional things that I've chased and are kind of a mess, and they're funny, or they come to me and I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to do this for a while because I'll learn something from it.
That's
or
the key.
I'll go with this for a while, even though it may not be the end all be all thing.
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm in my 40s now. I haven't dated in 12 years. I don't understand all this stuff. So I don't know what I want. So I just have to feel good, do what I want to do. And if a relationship comes or doesn't come, that's not going to make or break my life too.
We completely agree.
Just summarize my
Yeah.
whole philosophy.
We're all on the same page here.
It's all complete. It's so true, and I think that it's hard. I think that we struggle with this in that. I mean, I am in a relationship, but I'm also so fulfilled that I'm like, if it's there, if it's not there, I think that there's something about when you find self-love, when you find your fulfilling, purpose in life, that it just takes kind of the focus and the pressure off of that area of life. And I think so often we are seeking it, and we're just putting too much significance on it and just smashing it, so we can't even just enjoy whatever love is there.
If we don't have this, then nothing else is working. Or if we
Right,
don't
yes.
have the love of our life or our soulmate or this, then nothing else matters. That's just one of the many things that make our life better.
How'd you get there? How'd you get to the place where you're able to be open and receptive and welcoming if love enters your life, and at the same time, deeply and authentically happy if it doesn't? How have you gotten there? Because I think that's the challenge. Often people are like, it's hard to say when you want to be married and you want kids to say, I'm going to be happy anyway, even if it doesn't come.
Because that's what you have to do. It's just that decision. You have to make that decision, which is the hardest thing. It's or with addiction, you have to make that decision to stop. You have to make that decision to be happy every day. You have to make that decision to go after your dreams. You just have to decide, and from there you can do the steps. But you just have to want that first.
When did you make that decision for yourself?
I don't know. I think it comes with age. Today on this couch. it's all its epiphany right now. No, I think it's you get to that point where you're tired of the struggle.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I don't want to keep doing something that isn't working anymore.
Wear
and you
yourself
just
out.
and you just go, you know what? Why don't I try something different? Why don't I choose to be happy?
Yeah.
That's a
That
concept.
thing. That thing. I love that.
That's a
And
concept.
be happy with what you have. Not, I will be happy when I have that relationship, when I have that child.
And I think that's why all of those positive affirmations and everything are set in the present tense. It's not, I want to be happy, or I want to have this job, or I want to have this money. It's, I have it. I am happy. You use that present tense, so we're all present and happy wherever we are in the moment.
But I do think that there's a level also beyond that, because I do agree that you have to almost go there first for it to be possible fully. But then there's it's almost like meditation. There's a single pointedness in meditation where we focus the mind, and I think that so many of us don't believe it's really possible to really truly have a magnificent relationship that is not about suffering, but going into, completely a purpose-driven, beautiful relationship. And I do think that we have to get it into our mind and really visualize that. But I know you've had an amazing relationship, and so it's probably easy for you to imagine that.
I can go there. I know it's possible. I know that love is possible, but I had to know that before I could even get that relationship. It's like faith. You have to know it. You have to feel it. You have to feel what that feels like or you're not, you know, to even know. And I think all this struggle is part of it. You want, I don't want to say you want to have bad relationships and struggle, but you sort of do. That's part of the fun. That's part of the learning experience. That's part of the dark. So you can go, oh, this is what I, you know, don't need or don't want, or this is when you get the right thing. You're like, oh wow, this was all just in preparation for the good.
For sure.
Absolutely.
So well said.
Thank you so much for being here, for being a part of our community, for sharing.
Thanks for
the
sharing.
score with us.
Score.
I can't wait to hashtag binge the Bay for season 4. When's it
Yes.
coming out?
Season 4 is happening right now. They've already shot the European stuff. I was actually with the boys last night. We went to see Ron Moss, John Blackwell.
Oh, how fun.
His new album is coming out. And you know, Baby Come Back was big 40 years ago, and now he's got a song, My Baby's Back. And I've been friends with Ron and his wife Devin for years. And of course, Gregory J. Martin, who created the show, and Christos and Brandon, our beautiful Brandon.
They're so nice.
Yeah, they're all beautiful people, and that we're shooting eventually, right? Gregory Joe Connors is coming back to the Bay, right?
You heard it here, Gregory. We're manifesting this.
And then Female Friendly premieres at Holly Shorts Festival on the 15th of August here at Hollywood Chinese. So that's all
big month for
happening.
you.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Well, send us the invitation because we
Right?
want to come and celebrate you.
Yes, great. Thank you.
Deal.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more in Good Morning La La Land.